Well, what a great comeback it's been for the ball sports team on this second day. They lead the riders 27 points to 24. And just this one event to go, the obstacle course, the one we saw last week, without any doubt, the stiffest course ever supplied for any stars or super teams. Now, if the riders win it, there'll be a tie, and we'll have to sort that one out to see who goes into the final.
Well, 7 metres below where David Vine was standing is the interior deck where we start the obstacle course. The riders in black, ball sports in white. The riders:
stand by!
Andy Ruffell, Malcolm Elliott, Robert Lemuir and Steve Jochin. The ball sports: Des Drummond, Gordon Greenwich, Ian Taylor and Sean Curley. They get cracking first.
And the riders know they've got to win this, and I think they've got a bit of a problem because they haven't got any big men. They're going around technique, they have to get a bit of a canter on, and they're not doing too badly at the moment.
Black climbing up that ladder, hauling their ammunition box. 50 pounds it weighs. Their shell is in that, and that's the one they've got to transport to the gun that awaits them at the end of the obstacle course.
Roger!
Ian Taylor.
Hit it!
Struggling just a little bit. But the ball sports in their white have got their ammunition box, and waiting for them, Jeff Squire and Graham Gooch to collect it as it's sent across the travel.
But the riders are doing well. They've got a bit of trouble. Stephen Smith and Michael Whitaker over the other side, and then the girls, Virginia Holgate and Katherine Swinerton. The show jumpers have got the box as the ball sports go across the chasm.
So Des Drummond and Gordon Greenwich safely across, and they've taken the lead. Their last two men, Ian Taylor, Sean Curley, the two hockey players, bringing up the rear, but they're on their way and they're getting well ahead of the riders now. Riders have done well, though. They've got up and over the wall, back through the gap, passing the ammunition box. This is the long haul.
Yes, no doubt that the riders have come up. They went very quickly between the chasm and the wall. They're under the net now, all 8 of them. And again, the ball sports stuck in a bit of trouble there. The riders are getting the wheels on meanwhile. This is a good run, and if the riders win this, there's a tie in the semi-final for the right to go in to meet the water sports team, and they're going well. The show jumpers, the 3-day eventers and the bike riders look like they're going to take this. Remember the points, it was 24 to 27, 5 for this and 2 for losing. Will make it a tie, and there is a tiebreaker to decide the semi-final. Little Jochin, and they've got it, they've got it.
What a comeback by the riders, really. Down a third away along the course. All the muscle seems to be with the ball sports team, but the riders have pulled together as a team remarkably well. That was a tremendous effort.
There now has to be a tiebreaker to decide this semi-final. The score's 29 the riders, 29 the ball sports team, so a tiebreaker to decide it, and it's back on the tug-of-war rope.
Fantastic effort. 30 seconds faster on the obstacle course than any other team have done it.
Brilliant.
And yet you're unhappy.
Yeah, because
29 points
yeah,
each.
because now we've got to decide. We're so close. Now we've got to decide on the tug of war. We're at a complete disadvantage, aren't we?
We thought you were at a disadvantage in the obstacle course.
Oh, we never thought we were at a disadvantage from the start because we'd proved that in the survival test. Everybody thought we couldn't do the survival test, but we did it. We're only 0.5 of a second slower than the swimmers.
When it's a close situation like this, what often happens in cycling and a lot of other events is the best position on the last event. If you beat the guy on the last event.
But the rule was decided before this event, was it not?
Yeah.
You would agree on that?
We've got to make decisions before the contest start. The contest goes on a one-tug thing, and that's the rule.
And they knew the rule before they started.
The rule was told before we started the day's events today.
Right, deciding pool of the Super Teams competition, riders versus ball sports. Take up the rope. Come on, the riders. Take the strain.
Now, can they do it? Terry Neal asking for a hold from the ball sports team. Annabelle Croft looking into his eyes now, asking for the heave. They've gone. One straight pull, it's all over. And the ball sports team, in about 8 to 9 seconds, have pulled the riders all over the place. They are delighted, and the riders are anything but. But it's the ball sports team who've done it, so it's ball sports versus water sports in this year's Super Team final for the Townsend Thoresen Trophy. And the disappointment still showing on the riders' faces as they collect their consolation awards from Mr. Brian, Sales and Marketing Director of Townsend Thoresen. And into the final go the ball sport players. Coach Terry Neal, well, he's lost his voice. Annabelle Croft has won herself a hat. And the team now take on the water sports 8. Next week from HMS Hermes, the final of the 1985 Team Superstars.